Hello everyone, I'm Abba and welcome to my channel. In the last session, we saw the roles and responsibility, how to define the roles and responsibility in information security policy and standard. In today's session, we'll be, discussing about the other things. So here, if you have not seen my last video corresponding to the roles and responsibility, I have, described in detail what needs to be mentioned in which detailed how detailed that should be mentioned. Please look into it. And also the first video where we are talking about the statement of policy, like how it needs to be defined. So please do have a look into it, so you will get a basic understanding. If you get a project or you are the person who will basically either preparing the information security policy or standard or reviewing it, or maybe in a panel where you need to give the suggestions of improvement and all those things, so you will understand what it is and how it is and what should be looked into and how to define it, like what type of language should be used. So let's come to our today's topic, which is about the segregation of duty. So here we need to define how we are segregating the different roles and responsibility corresponding to all roles and operation that can impact the CIA, that is confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information as such. So companies should implement the principle of least privilege for the access to all the information as certain systems. Individual fulfilling governance, compliance, and auditing rules shall not independent from the function shall be independent from the functions they audit. The separation of security administration, through which individuals and group are providing access to information as such, and those who act in other capacities, including but not limited to the system administration, application development, database and management, end users. Then application development person should not have an access of production data or at a system level technology. Or if they need, then they need to raise an exception. Let's suppose there is a project where they need to have an access for a certain amount of time. So they need to take off exception in that case. System administration should not have the access to the application code that could allow them to change it. Data administration access should be sufficiently restricted, such as they can perform the administrative function without option to retrieve sensitive information. Administrative access to, I would say, the security tools like firewalls, routers, switches, and other network equipment and system shall be limited to the authorized networking person. Administrative access to information security system and technology should be limited to the authorized IT security person. So at a broadly, you will define what it is and how it is. And for the detail, your company must be having the, I would say, the risk assessment methods. So, if they want to go in such a detail, they can look into what are the risk IDs and risk description and perform. But if you want, you can give the risk metrics link here so that whoever is reading it can refer to that particular risk metrics. The next is security requirement for the third party. So here what is required to look into the non-disclosure agreement should be completed prior to engage the vendor in any of the services. And all legal contracts between the company and the third party vendor should have the statement to protect the information security assets and whatever the requirement of a company. An information security office is to be engaged whenever the legal agreement includes the information security concern. So if any vendor you are taking, they have, they need to have an access of any of the organization system, because systems do contain the data. Then information security team needs to be involved. Or if there is some vendor that needs to be physically visit to the premises, even though there are certain let's suppose the open documents or things, they may be able to access still the team needs to be included while doing the assessment. That is very much required. Then it needs to be completely defined inside the agreement if there is any violation, that what needs to be done, or let's suppose if there is any breach from the vendor side, breach of a contract, or let's suppose there is a cyber attack at a vendor premises through which they can get them access to the company system as well. So there is a process, should be a well-defined process, within which time they'll inform the organization so that at least they can protect themselves for such type of things, and we can do the analyze if there is any impact of that breach on their systems or not. The third is a contact with the external organization. So company needs to develop and maintain the relationship with the external organization to stay abreast of current and emerging security issues, and should maintain an appropriate contacts and external organization entitled to ensure that the appropriate actions can be quickly taken and advice obtained in the event of security incident. That can be related to regulatory agencies, incident response management service providers, information security professional organization, information technology and telecommunication service provider, and other enforcement authorities. The next is an independent review of information security program. So regularly engage the external assessor and auditor to conduct the independent review of the information security program of the organization. Company should independently engage the external assessor to assure the accreditation and certification of their information security policy. And the last is in case of any breach, or if there is any user think there is a suspicious activity which uh, can cause some issue, or maybe some activity of any type of security breach, either it happens or they think it can happen because of the certain activity, down where they can report it. So you need to provide some information, maybe some email ID, some phone number, maybe some place where they can listen. These things are very important. So that's all for today's session. Please do like and share this video if you like it, and subscribe to the session. Thank you. We'll be discussing the remaining topics in another session.